All right. Good morning, everybody. NFL Week 4 in the books. Over with Monday Night Football. If you haven't watched yet, you can tell I still got my bed head, just woke up, getting things ready, actually doing college football prep for the show we're going to record this morning. If you're watching this and you haven't checked out our NFL recap, the full recap, it is linked below. If you're watching on X, it is linked right below. Be sure to watch that. It was a great episode. We talked about fraudulent performances from week 4. We talked about what receiver are we taking if we need 75 yards in a game. Guns to our head. It was a great bit. We did most fraudulent performance, most disappointing performance, keep your head up performance of the week. Check out that episode. It was great. Connor, Carter, and I linked below if you're on X. If you're watching on YouTube, X, leave a chat, ask questions, right? We're going to recap the NFL Week 4 slate. We're going to preview Week 5 and drop any questions you have. Are the Titans back? You can ask me that, and I will give you my honest answer, right? Whatever questions you want to ask. I do want to shout somebody out real quick. I don't know if they're watching. I'm going to try and share my screen here. There was a gentleman. So, what I give out on this show are like actual picks. Not that what I'm about to show you isn't, but they're like, I do research. Like, this is get it before the lines move. And we did pretty well last week. We went 6-4, bringing our total on the year to 13-10-1. Actually, it's 13-11-1. I don't know if I can change that in here. Yeah, I can. Okay. 13-11-1, not 13-10-1. But went 6-4 last week. There was this gentleman, Alex Sutton. For primetime games, I like to do dumb things like first touchdown scores. Let's see, window. And yesterday, I took Tyjae Spears, and this guy right here, huge shout out. I guess he follows me on Action Network, and he took it. Never met this guy before in my life, but these are the things. If you download the Action Network app and you follow me, you'll get every single pick I make when I make it. It's in the app. It's right when it happens. There is no delay. Please go download the Action Network app and follow me at Wilkerson A. Dillon, the exact same as my ex. This guy reaching out yesterday, I appreciate it. It meant a lot when you work so hard on something and you see that people are, following you, telling you, reaping the rewards of that. So let me pull the chat back up just in case anybody has questions. The YouTube chat should pull in. Okay. If you have questions, holler. If you want to yell at me, Dylan, you're dumb. Yeah, you're not right here. Please feel free to do so. I won't spend too much time recapping last week since we did a very good job of recapping everything on the actual show that, again, is linked under here. Some of the bigger games, Thursday Night Football, the Cowboys cover against the Giants. It didn't look great, but they took care of business. Saints Falcons. I don't think the Falcons had an offensive touchdown, yet they still win. That was concerning as someone that is rooting for the Falcons, that is invested in the Falcons. The offense really didn't get going, and now we're forced to answer the question: are the Saints legitimate, or are the Falcons not that good? We do know the Falcons' defense is not as good as what it was expected to be coming into the year. So a little bit of concern there. We'll talk about it. The Falcons have Thursday night football, Sunday night football, Monday night football against the Buccaneers. I think it's Thursday night football against the Bucs, and that's going to be, another NFC South matchup, and we're going to see what this Falcons team is made of, or maybe the Bucs are legitimate. I personally do not think they are, but maybe it'll solve itself on Thursday. Rams-Bears, this was a stoppable force meets a movable object, and the stoppable force won in the Bears offense, I guess you could say. Maybe the Bears defense probably did more than the Bears offense did. Bears come out on top. They find themselves at 2-2, which I would not have expected coming into the year. I would not have expected 2-2. Vikings, we talked about it on our actual preview show at CarterCast. Sam Darnold and the Vikings are looking amazing. They hold off a late Packers surge at the end. we will get to see this team in London, 9 a.m. on Sunday against the Jets, and this will be a great test for this Vikings offense. They're actually slight favorites, I think, but this Jets defense is going to be the toughest they've faced. Steelers Colts. I actually had the Steelers defense as my most disappointing performance, allowing way too much success on late down pass plays, a 12-yard pass on 3rd and 10 to convert, and a 15-yard pass on 3rd and 10 for a touchdown. Things you don't expect to see from the Steelers defense. Not great to see, but Justin Fields actually looked pretty decent, which is surprising. Usually it's not Justin Fields that's the shining unit on this team. Broncos Jets. Broncos come out on top in a shocker. They were 5-6 point underdogs. Broncos defense might be legitimate. I think that's the biggest takeaway here. We know Bo Nix is not good. He hasn't been good all year. And the Jets defense is good as well. But the Broncos defense is suffocating. They are suffocating. And that might be enough to get them 500, 9-8 maybe. Eagles Bucks. I'm not going to do the Eagles thing here. I already did it on the Carter Cast show. If you watch this show, going back to last year, I've been low on the Eagles, and obviously the Eagles offense is decimated, missing A.J. Brown, missing Devonta Smith, missing their right or left tackle. I can't remember. Lane Johnson. The Buccaneers take care of business like they did last year in the playoffs. I'm not gonna harp on the Eagles too much there because I did it already in the Carter Cast show. Bengals Panthers. Bengals come out on top. This defense is still a problem. We will talk about it coming up against the Ravens. If you think the Ravens were in on the Bills, oh brother, you're in for a rude awakening whenever they play Cincinnati this week at 1 p.m. on Sunday, because they are going to just absolutely obliterate that Bengals run defense. It's going to be embarrassing for Cincinnati. Jags Texans, again, touched on it on the Carter Cast preview show. Texans might be a little fraudulent. The game plan for the Texans has been exposed when you're playing them. It's take away the run threat and make C.J. Stroud make mistakes. And Jacksonville was not able to do that. And Jacksonville also benefited off a muff punt. There are some things that kept this game closer than what it actually looks like. But the Jaguars, the remaining winless team in the NFL, would not have thought that it was the Jaguars. But with the Titans win last night, Jaguars are the remaining winless team. Commanders looked amazing against the Cardinals. Now, this Cardinals defense is not good. That's something we've seen all year. But the fact that Jaden Daniels just slips in seamlessly with this Commanders offense and puts up 42 points, it's a sight to see. And this is a team that's now sitting atop of their division in the NFC East, and you have to wonder if they're going to be able to make a splash. Starting out 3-1, great start. Pats 49ers. 49ers take care of business. No surprises there. We had the Pats. Tough look for that. Browns Raiders, nap game of the week. CarterCast nap game of the week. And the Raiders come out on top 2016. Browns have some serious issues to address. I bet there are some Browns fans a little upset out there after seeing Joe Flacco come in for the Colts and be as good as he was. Chiefs Chargers. Chargers cover. What do we say on this show? What do we say on CarterCast? Fade the Chiefs as more than a field goal favorite, especially in a divisional spot. The Chargers defense looked amazing, and I think that was the biggest takeaway here is no matter who's at quarterback or how healthy their quarterback is, Harbaugh and Jesse Minter have the defense looking so good that it might not even really matter. They're going to be able to stay in games that they weren't able to stay in under Brandon Staley, and I think that's a win in itself, right? Bills Ravens. The Ravens take care of business. We touched on the show. If you watched the kickoff show, I said the Ravens were going to take care of business here. The Bills were not going to be able to get anything going on the ground. Let's see how many rush yards they have. Sorry, I have the box scores up here. 81 rush yards. A couple of Curtis Samuel 7-yard rush. That's probably an end around if I remember correctly. So, they weren't able to get anything going on the ground, and the Ravens just ground and pound all the way through. They come out on top 35-10. If you watch the show, we had an idea that was going to happen this week. And now we go to yesterday. This way, not that way. Tennessee Titans beat the Dolphins 31-12. Will Levis leaves the game in the first quarter with an apparent injury. Mason Rudolph takes over and was not asked to do anything. We ran the ball down their throat. It was big boy football, and we come out on top. I don't know how I ended up rooting for these teams that just can't throw the football. Brian Callahan says Will Levis is the starting quarterback if he is healthy. And, yeah, that's that. Titans win 31-12. And then Seahawks-Lions. We needed the Seahawks for our CarterCast parlay to go back-to-back, and they can't do it. This was a ref show. I need to look up penalty numbers. Poor Geno Smith, 56 pass attempts. It's a long day. It's a long day at the office. Let's see. Yeah, Seahawks dominated time possession. A total of 21 penalties for 171 yards. So, a lot of penalties, a lot of pass interference, and then blatantly missed one in the end zone on DK Metcalf towards the end of the game. Unfortunate because we needed that, but Lions come out on top there, 29-42. Jared Goff receiving touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown passing touchdown. Shout out fantasy owners. Okay. From here, we will go to the Wilkerson ratings. Let me share my screen. Maybe. Share window. Make this a little bigger. Oh, no. Okay. So these are updated for Monday Night Football. We're trying to end this by 8:45 today. We'll go by 8:45. These are the Wilkerson rankings. We're getting to the point of the season where we might be able to start getting rid of the priors. I think maybe after this week, after week 5, we'll start doing that. Right now, we're still going off of our 2023 rating on top of 2024. These are our top 5 teams. I have number 1, Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry. Let me do that again for the clip. The NFL Week 5 Wilkerson ratings are as follows. Buffalo Bills are number 1, 49ers number 2, Chiefs number 3, Cowboys number 4, Saints number 5. The bottom of the barrel, we have the Raiders, Giants, Bears, Jaguars, and Panthers. Those are the bottom of the barrel in the Wilkerson ratings. And now let's see just if we did these based on just this year's ratings. Let's see. Well, don't want smallest to largest. Okay, largest to smallest. There we go. Just based on this year, we'd have Saints number 1, Vikings number 2, Chiefs number 3, Lions number 4, Bills number 5, and then we'd have the Rams, Patriots, Panthers, Jaguars, and Dolphins at the bottom. So those are the Wilkerson rankings. We will go right into early bets. And I'll say this. There isn't a whole lot this week that I like. I went through everything, and I tried to find some things, but I think ultimately this week is going to be a bit of a slower one. Let me share the odds on Action Network. And then let's make this a little bigger. There we go. So this isn't the first game, but this is the London game on Sunday. First London game of the year. We have the Jets-Vikings. The Jets are 2.5-point underdog. Total set at 40.5. And I have this line spot on. I have Vikings as a 2.5-point favorite. It feels like it should be more with how the Vikings are playing, but I'm not going to take anything just because it feels like it should be more. My number's right in line with this, and I'm not going to budge on there at all. Now, the Thursday night game, you have the Buccaneers and the Falcons. I touched on this briefly, how the Falcons, they won last week, but they looked kind of fake. But the Buccaneers are kind of there as well. They're one of the luckier teams in the NFL based on the Action Network luck rankings. And I can't back either of these teams. Maybe under, maybe, because it's a divisional game. We're not going to take it, though. We'll stay away from Thursday night football. Dolphins Patriots. The Patriots should not be favored in any professional football game. Let me pull up in the background. Where are we at here? Yeah, I make the Dolphins a 2-point favorite here, but it's hard to pull the trigger on that because it's Tyler Huntley did not look great against the Titans on Monday Night Football. So again, this is going to be a situation where we stay away. Not a huge fan of that. I'm going to stay away from the uncertainty. You have the Panthers and the Bears. Bears offense is really bad. Second worst in the league, 3.5 yards per play. The Panthers blitz a lot, but they have the league lowest pressure rate. And the Panthers' third down and red zone conversion rates allow are really bad. So it's kind of a similar situation where we have the Rams. The Bears' offense is not great, but the Panthers are letting teams convert in the red zone and in third down like it's nobody's business. What do we have here? I have the Bears as a 1-point favorite. I'm going to stay away. I'm going to stay away from this. I just can't trust that defense. Like you said, when you have a team that allows conversions on third down, red zone that much, it worries me. You have the Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Colts are a 2.5-point underdog in a divisional game. We're going to take the Colts here, plus 2.5 and money line. I think they end up winning, whether it's Joe Flacco, whether it's Anthony Richardson that plays. This Jaguars team has looked really bad, and the only reason the game against the Texans was so close was because they had that muff punt that ended up turning into points. So Colts plus 2.5 and Colts money line are going to be plays for this week. And we will move on to the Bills and the Texans. Now, this is an interesting spot. The Bills 2 weeks ago blow out Jacksonville on Monday Night Football. Then they get blown out on Sunday Night Football by the Ravens. Houston is coming off a divisional game, a close one against the Jaguars. Again, score makes it look like it's closer than what it actually was. Both teams are allowing 5 yards or less per play. Great defenses. The Bills have the worst rush defense in the league, allowing over 5.5 rush yards per play. The Texans commit the second most offensive penalty yards and 2 of the top 5 in red zone conversion. We're going to go Bills here. Bills as a dog, away dog, plus 102. This is a bounce back spot for the Bills, and I am truly selling on this Texans team. They didn't look great against the Jags. We're going to go Bills here, plus 102. Kind of like the under as well, but I'll keep an eye on that. Again, I'll tweet all of these picks, and then in the threads, I add anything. I added the Colts last week late, so be sure to keep an eye on that thread. Turn on tweet notifications because I will post that, and then in the Action Network app as well. We'll try to wrap this up here in about 5 minutes or so. We have the Ravens and the Bengals. If you thought the Ravens ran the ball all over the Bills, this is going to be atrocious for Cincinnati. The Ravens are just going to run it down their throat. It's going to be big boy football because this Cincinnati Bengals defense is atrocious. They have not shown us a thing this year. They let the Panthers and Andy Dalton score 24 points on them. I'm not going to take anything. The Ravens are a 2.5-point favorite, but the Ravens are going to run this ball all over. Maybe Justice Hill rush yards, Derrick Henry alt rush yards. It is going to be disgusting game. Disgusting in a good way, I should say. Not disgusting as in a bad way. Browns Commanders. This is another stoppable force meets a movable object game. This is a Commanders defense that has not been great versus a Browns offense that has been almost even worse. Now, the Commanders offense has impressed, and the Browns defense has been great as well. No plays here. Like I said, stoppable force meets movable object. Deshaun Watson in this Browns offense has to get something going against this Commanders defense. They could even, if they put up 24 points and don't win the game, you can't hold it against them because this Commanders offense has been so good. Raiders Broncos, AFC West matchup. You have the Raiders as a 3-point underdog, over under 36.5. The Broncos defense is legit, allows the second best in the NFL, 4.2 yards per play. Raiders allowing a lot of yards on the ground, over 5 yards per rush. The Broncos could have success running the ball here, but I can't bet the Broncos as a favorite. I'm staying away from this one. Cardinals 49ers, another divisional game, NFC West. The 49ers have the lowest blitz rate, but a top 10 pressure rate. So the 49ers have success getting to the quarterback. The Cardinals are much better in the red zone than the 49ers. And the 49ers, Fred Warner, Kittle, Juszczyk, all questionable on top of the injuries they already have. So a lot of questions there. Again, normally I take the divisional dog of more than a touchdown, but I'm going to stay away here because I do not trust this Cardinals defense. Giants Seahawks. We have the Seahawks as a 6.5-point favorite. This is one, the Giants have a huge rest advantage here. They have 3 days of rest advantage. So I'm going to wait. I'm not going to take it yet. I'm going to wait and see if we can get a 7 on here, and I'm going to keep an eye out on that, and I will tweet it if a 7 becomes available. But I am not against taking the Giants here on with the rest advantage. Let's see, Packers Rams. Packers are a 3.5-point favorite, over under 48. Again, nothing here. The Rams defense has been bad. The Rams are decimated. The Packers have looked great, but not enough to get me to take them as a road favorite of 3.5 points. Cowboys Steelers. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm drinking the Cowboys Kool-Aid. The Steelers defense didn't look that great against the Colts. I love the Cowboys here. Let's go Cowboys plus 2.5. Write it down. And money line. I don't see why the Steelers would be favored here. I think the Cowboys get it done. And let me keep going. Saints Chiefs. This one's easy. You fade the Chiefs as a favorite of a field goal or more. It's as simple as that. I love taking the Saints in this spot, even if they are fraudish. This is the perfect spot to fade the Chiefs. Saints plus 5.5. And is that it? Monday Night Football? I think that wraps it up. All right, just to recap, our picks for this week. We have the Colts plus 2.5, Colts money line, Bills money line, Cowboys plus 2.5, Cowboys money line, and Saints plus 5.5. So thank you guys for watching. A bit of a shorter episode, 13, 11, and 1. Be sure to check out the CarterCast full recap. We had some great segments. It's linked below, and it's also on YouTube. Just search CarterCast. It's the most recent video uploaded. So thank you guys.